So I went into Project Hail Mary completely blind. I haven't read the book, haven't seen any trailers, so all that I knew really was that it was Ryan Gosling in space and that people were liking it. I am so glad that I made that decision to go in completely blind because I got to really experience this movie for all that it was and be surprised at all the little twists and turns and the way that the story really unfolds. And it was just such a great experience, and I was so engaged for the entire 2.5 hours. And if anything, I wish this movie was longer because there's so much in this movie that it was just so beautifully done and such a great story that they told. And I'm very glad that this story exists, but very excited to talk about what exactly I loved about this movie and why I think everyone should watch it. Minor spoilers ahead, nothing crazy if you haven't already seen the trailer. But first of all, loved the storytelling aspect. In the story, you see Grace in space, kind of figuring out why he's there, what's happening, and what he has to do. But then in parallel, you see the events of his life on Earth and what led him there, and they all kind of culminate in this one climax. And I thought that was a really great way of telling the story. I imagine the book does it the same way, but it really made for a very engaging audience experience. On top of this, the cinematography was stunning. I watched this movie in IMAX. I really was able to watch in all its glory. The colors were beautiful, the shots were great, the camera work was fantastic, and on top of everything, the soundtrack was exquisite. It was such a beautiful soundtrack. I felt so deeply every single time one of the main theme songs was playing. I think they just did such an amazing job putting the whole movie together from all different angles. The highlight of the movie is the two main characters. Ryan Gosling is incredible in this movie. He is such a great actor, and I think this is one of those movies that you really get to see his skills shine. There are so many scenes that he just sells this role. I think this role was made for him. He plays the adorable, goofy, charming, but smart, intelligent nerd that is afraid to do the right thing, but is gonna do it anyway. It is just such a great and well-rounded character, and he plays it so well. And I really believe that he was Ryland Grace, and I think he just sold the role so well. I think this is one of his best performances that we've seen. Again, he's a great actor, so I expect nothing less. But my true favorite of this entire movie is Rocky. And Rocky, spoilers ahead, is the alien that we encounter in this journey that he's on in space. And Rocky is my favorite. I would die for Rocky. When they introduced him, I truly had, again, no idea what to expect. But once you kind of learn that there's this little alien in space that's also there on the same mission that Ryan Gosling's character is on, it is just such a turn of events, and I just wasn't expecting it. And their friendship is just so unexpectedly adorable and heartfelt, and I cried multiple times. Rocky is my favorite character, literally ever. I want my own Rocky. I think Rocky is great. I think the voice acting was fantastic. I thought the character design was fantastic. Rocky is such a compelling character, and I think I just really did not expect that this movie was going to be about friendship and sacrificing yourself for the sake of someone else. I thought that entire arc was done so beautifully, and the way that it all comes together at the end. When you see Grace's own journey about sacrifice on Earth, and then you see him sacrifice himself for Rocky, that entire scene was just so well done. I loved it. I thought this was just such a fantastic movie and just moved me so much. I cried so many times. I was laughing so many times. It was so funny. It was just such a great movie, and it's been a long time since I've watched something that made me feel hopeful and full of joy and love, and I absolutely love this movie so much. I cannot wait to rewatch it. I think this was just such an incredible movie, and I loved it. Again, I know it's not perfect. There's a couple cons. I think the biggest one is that it's a lot in a story, and they're condensing all into a 2.5 hour movie. Frankly, another 20-30 minutes to really flesh out the latter part of the story would have been a great decision. But honestly, all I really wanted was more of this movie. I could have been in that theater for hours and hours and hours just watching Rocky and Grace just taking on the world and saving Earth and Irid, and just such a good movie. I think everyone should go watch it. This was just one of those gems of cinema, and I'm so glad that it exists, and I'm so glad Andy Weir created this beautiful story. This is just one of my favorite movies, I think probably ever, which is just crazy because I've seen a lot. This was just fantastic. I loved it so much. It was amaze, which I can't stop saying right now, and I give it 2 full thumbs down. So go watch it. I hope everyone loves it as much as I did, and I hope we get to see more of these stories. And all my love to Rocky and Grace for the most beautiful friendship that I've seen in a really long time. And yeah, that's it for me. Bye.